And generally, I know you've been you're schooling for like 3 years now. Am I? You're 3 years? Am I right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Going into my fourth year.
Yes, that's great.
Yes.
That's really great. I want you to like share with us your journey about your, searching for internships. How's it been so far? Like, and what are the tips you give to people looking for
Yeah.
internships?
Yeah. So this topic of internship, honestly, like there's so much to say about this. Again, before I even say anything, LinkedIn, I would say, is like a big resource because not only do you connect with people, a really important aspect of LinkedIn as well is the content that is shared
Yeah.
there, right? So even if you don't share anything, there's so much to consume,
Yeah.
literally, whether it's tips, application process, like there's just so much. So that's the first direction I would point you to is um read. And again, it depends on who you're following, right? Because who you follow and who you connect with determines the content you see on your
Exactly.
feed. So you really want to take your time to find out, maybe there are people, in certain internships or doing certain in a certain field that you want to be in. Those are the kind of people that you want to
Yeah.
start connecting with. So that's the first
Yeah.
thing I would say. But in terms of like what my process or my journey has been like, so I actually go to a co-op school. Co-op basically means cooperative education, and what that means is basically that as part of me fulfilling like my degree requirements, I have to go
Yeah.
on co-op. Co-op is basically a six
Yes.
month internship, right? So it's almost like it's embedded into my curriculum. It's not just a summer vacation. I get to do whatever I want to do. I really have to find like a placement, at a certain company or wherever else I choose to be. So I think just knowing that my school does that program, knowing that Drexel had some like, I guess, partnerships with other um companies in the area, that was kind of like a really good bridge to getting certain opportunities, right? So there's an internal system that we use, so you don't really, it's not something that you apply for externally. You apply internally as long as you're a Drexel student, as long as you're
Gotcha.
enrolled in the program. There are basically 3 rounds that you go through, right? So that's, I think that's, so thankfully for me, I would say it's not been too
Okay.
bad finding, because again, there's been an internal
That
system.
that's particular to
However,
Drexel, right?
I'm about to start my
Yeah.
particular
Okay.
to Drexel.
Okay.
Yes, that's why. Again, so it
Okay.
depends on the school that you go to. Some schools don't have a core program. So basically, maybe your summer vacation or your summer semester, you have that summer, term off, and it's up to you to decide what you want to do with it. Some people choose to go on vacation. Some people choose to maybe work on campus, maybe do research. Others choose to actually do a an internship in a corporate environment, right? So again, it just really depends on you. That's how it works mostly. But for certain schools like Drexel, Northeastern, they kind of have like this core program. But I would say, again, just talking about the whole internship search, I'm actually going into my third and my
Wow.
final co-op in the fall. And co-op is this co-op is unique in the sense that I have to
Wow.
find it for myself because of some restrictions with, again, the international student thing. I don't want to delve into that. So I think the fact that I'm finding this for myself has really exposed me to what it really is and what it really looks like to apply for internships. Like, it has not been the easiest
Yeah.
journey, right? But one thing I would say is, okay, when I'm on LinkedIn, I see many people talk about how I applied to 100 and maybe something internships, finally got 2 offers. Now, I don't know, for me, I don't know about other people, but for me at least, I like to save my energy, right? Not everything deserves, like, again, I think because I've jumped at too many things, now I kind of like, no, I kind
Yeah.
of restrict the things I'm looking for. I kind of tell people, instead of applying for 150 things, why not apply for 20 that you strategically
Yeah.
you strategically prepare for, right? Why not look at the job description and look at the requirements and really see, how can I tailor my resume to
Gotcha.
fit this requirement, right? That way, you're applying for less, but you're putting more effort and you're more likely to be successful. So I think that's something that I'm currently
Adopt.
I would just encourage any students, like, to kind of think about it. Like, yes, maybe it's okay to have like to apply for many because you want to have options, right? But also, as you apply for these, try to ask yourself, am I really
For-
strategically preparing for this specific role? Because again, I got the offer.
Wow.
I've had other opportunities where companies have reached out to me for internships because maybe I participated in a program that that they were doing, and I made like I submitted my resume, and one thing led to the other, and they really thought I was a good candidate, so they asked me to apply, right? So I think, honestly, if I'm being completely honest, most of the opportunities I've gotten, I didn't really apply for it. I just strategically put myself in that kind of position where, or in an environment where I could get noticed by recruiters or by the professionals at the company. So I would
Gotcha.
say, especially in this lockdown, especially, well, maybe lockdown in some places, some other places not anymore, but especially with this whole quarantine and just how, we're now in a virtual climate, I feel like a lot more companies will be doing a lot of like programs, right, virtually, because also I think it's easier to just reach people like virtually than traveling to a school and whatnot.
And
So
the cost is kind of like
exactly.
no, at least no cost, basically.
Exactly. Most
Yeah.
times you don't have to
Yeah.
pay to like attend a webinar, right? So that's where
Yeah.
you need to really now have your eyes and your ears open to find out where these things are. And that's why you don't want to
Gotcha.
do it alone. So as much as you can, again, you don't want to just go for everything. You really want to go for the ones that you're interested in, or you maybe just slightly interested in. As you go for these things, most times you're asked to submit your resume, and more often than not, you kind of like get into their pipeline, right? Even if you don't, just having that recruiter's name and saying, oh, maybe, hey Michael, I met you at this and this and this conference, I met you at this and this webinar, I would love to connect. You already have that point of connection, right? So
Yeah.
just when companies see that you take the time to attend their events, it speaks a lot about you and about how like curious and how enthusiastic and like proactive you are, right? So I think that's another way I would say.
Getting my graduate assistantship as coming in here for my grad school. That's been like the only thing I see that can help me resolve me not paying my tuition. Not like, yes, my parents could pay my tuition to some extent, but I'm like, okay, I can take advantage of
Yeah.
this GA and not pay the tuition. Okay, so I was like, okay, let me just go for it. But I know undergrad is a
Yes.
different thing, and if you guys have not known, Leto is she's an undergrad, so those are two different uh
Yes.
situations, let me put it that way.
Environments.
It's different, yeah, yes, exactly. More money to spend within the course of 3 4 5 years of your
Exactly.
academics compared to like 2 years, so it's different and it can be expensive too. So definitely you as an undergrad, even as a grad, you can leverage writing the scholarships. I know there are a lot of scholarships for undergrad, even to so to say there are also scholarships for
Yes.
grad
Yes.
schools for graduate students too. All you just need to do is plug in, and just like we've said, LinkedIn is the
It
best
is.
place to find
I
these
really think it is.
resources.
It is.
Yeah. Yes, and please, if you're not participating in activities in your school, you need to. Even though things school is probably virtual right now, you can still plug into one or two societies, especially if you're a tech student. National Society of
Yes.
Black Engineers, join in your
Society of
school if
Women
you have one.
Engineers as
If you
well, if
don't,
you are like a female.
it's a, yes, yes, Society of Women Society of Women Engineers. You need to NABA, National Association of Black
Yep, yep.
Accountants. It's there
So
are a lot of
many.
organizations.
So many.
Yes, so there are a lot of organizations. So many of them. I would just want you guys to take advantage of what you have within your own space, within your university, and also outside. Likewise, using LinkedIn and other platforms that can take us beyond the four walls of our university. I think the last question I would just wanted to talk about is like just what's what is Ledo currently working on? So what are you working on?
Okay.
Anything? Any initiative? Any projects
Yeah.
coming on? Yeah.
So one thing I am working on is trying to get through school. Um, I would say
Yeah.
taking classes during the summer is not the easiest thing. So really just trying to finish the academic term strong and well. Um,
Yeah.
Besides
Okay.
that, so I think I mentioned at some point how I had a scholarship session back in May, and that was really, I did that session
Yeah.
really just out of sheer um gratitude for the scholarships that I had received, and I was really looking for a way to give back to other people, right? To other students especially.
Yeah.
And I really felt like one way I could help students was especially through the application process, right? So really helping them.
Yeah.
So I kind of call it like my one-on-one application essay strategy session, where I kind of like work with students again one-on-one. And I wanted to do one-on-one because I feel like every student's needs differ, right? Like maybe what a freshman might need is different from what a senior might need. So I did that back in May. I worked with over 30 students. It was an amazing time. And what was even more encouraging for me was actually the success stories I received. So one of my students actually ended up getting ended up getting nominated for a national scholarship in Canada that was actually very, very competitive. Only one female student actually gets it in like a whole university, and one male as well. So it was really just nice to see that she could use the tips that I shared with her. Another one of my students I actually worked with for actually ended up getting into Rice's MBA program, a top 25 MBA program in the US, right? So just to hear these stories makes me feel that, okay, it's not again, it's not rocket science. It's just little things that I think some people just don't pay attention to. So I'm actually thinking of making a sequel to that. I would say ending of August or early September. But for that one, I think I want to make a webinar where more people can join all at once. So and I'm also thinking of maybe making it like a panel to get more insight, not just my insight, but to get other people as well. So and then also just really trying to navigate this whole, like virtual climate. I think taking care of myself, I would say taking care of my mental health, and I would encourage you as well, if you're listening, to also ensure that you are taking care of yourself, whether it's physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, whatever that looks like for you. But yeah, those are some of the things that I'm working on, and some things I can't mention, but stay tuned.
I like that. Well, anyways, it's been amazing, having you on this program. I'm so glad, and I'm sure I'm going to have you back maybe
It'll be an honor.
Maybe in a couple of months and talk about something else. Well, thank you so much. Thank you for sharing your insights. I know, guys, there are lots, and I don't want us to share everything yet. So she said she's the link to that podcast is gonna be directly on the note section of this YouTube. So you guys need to go and click on that link and listen to the entire application process for those people trying to apply for scholarships and or any other opportunities out there. So please also click on that link and do that. Thank you. You're trying to say something?
I wanted to encourage anyone who maybe wants to talk to me a bit more. I don't know if maybe like you can put my email on the screen or something, or in the description box.
Okay. Yes. What I will do that. Yes. If you want to speak to Ledo, yes, you have that email address showing on the screen right now, and you will also see it on the note section too, so that you guys too can, or comment section, so that you guys can reach out to her on you can even reach out to her on LinkedIn email, just by searching her name, which definitely you guys are going to see on the YouTube now. I don't want to call it again so that she doesn't accuse me for butchering her name, but yeah, that's it. Yeah, one funny thing before I go on is I didn't know she was Nigerian when I reached out to her. I thought she was Cameroonian.
Oh my days. Yeah,
yes, always. I am doing like this to me myself.
Can I just say one last
thing?
Yes, apparently before. Okay, I just want to again really just thank Tell Your Story TV. Thank you, Olamide, for this opportunity. Honestly, every time that someone asks me to just share my story, I really consider it a privilege, because again, kind of like what I mentioned, coming in, I didn't know a lot. So for me to be able to use my experiences to help other people, I see it as just like an honor, and again, like a privilege. So thank you so much for what you're doing, even with this platform. Honestly, I think any international student that I know, I would refer them to this YouTube channel, because there's so much value and so much wisdom to be gotten here. So keep it going, honestly, and I just want to publicly just congratulate you for all the work that you're doing, and We as
Thank
an international
you.
student myself, I really really appreciate this. I know many others as well do. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Thank you for saying those kind words. I really do appreciate it. For you guys, I want you guys to, like, subscribe to my YouTube
Yes.
channel and share it out.
Yes.
And don't forget, you can follow us on IG at tellyourstory.tv, Facebook and Twitter. Follow us at Tell Your Story TV. It's only IG that's like tellyourstory.tv, as at Tell Your Story TV. But it is what it is right now. But I want to thank you so much for all your views and you guys subscribing to my YouTube channel. And I hope to see you next time. See you.
Bye.
Catch you later.